Thank you for standing by. This is the conference operator. Welcome to the Dolly Varden Silver and Fury Gold Mines Consolidate Emerging Canadian Silver Gold District in the Golden Triangle conference call. As a reminder, all participants are in a listen-only mode, and the conference is being recorded. After the presentation, there will be an opportunity to ask questions. To join the question queue, you may press star, then 1 on your telephone keypad. Should you need assistance during the conference call, you may signal an operator by pressing star and 0. I would now like to turn the conference over to Mr. Sean Kunkun, CEO. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, and thank everybody who's in attendance today. We appreciate you taking the time to talk about this exciting opportunity. It's rare in the M&A world where you have a transaction where both parties come out on top, and it's a favorable transaction for both parties. So I'm excited to be on this call with Tim, with Ivan, with Rob Van Egmont, and to walk you through the news this morning and to talk to you about Fury and Dolly consolidating this district in the Golden Triangle. So I've brought up a slide here where it shows this Kitsault Valley project. What we've done here is something truly remarkable. In the last 100 years of history in this area, there's been 18 different operators on these projects. And, in 100 years, we were the management teams that brought this consolidation of this 15 kilometers of Hazelton rocks together. We've got 7 deposits along this 15-kilometer trend, and we've got tremendous mineral endowment. Dolly Varden is bringing 44 million ounces of high-grade silver, and on the Fury side, in a gold equivalent standpoint, it's 1.2 million ounces of gold. So it's a tremendous opportunity within the existing deposits for expansion and extension potential, but the real value that we'll talk to you about is the 5.5 kilometers that sits in between and unexplored. Looking at the transaction specifically, Dolly is going to be issuing 76 million shares to Fury and paying $5 million via cash payment. This is truly a partnership. As this pro forma ownership chart shows, Fury is going to own 37% of the pro forma company. This is a mutual effort that's going to see 2 of their board members work with us to unlock the value of the company and ride the upside of the new Dolly Varden. We've got a healthy cash position. We're going into this transaction with $16 million in the bank, and so we're in a healthy cash standpoint for future exploration and development. Looking at combined resources, one of the unique opportunities of bringing these 2 assets together, we're giving shareholders leverage to both gold and silver. And what's truly rare about this opportunity, we are going to be the only company in North America where grade meets size. And what I mean by that is there are only 14 projects that have a minimum 750,000 ounces of gold and 25 million ounces of silver, but this will be the only project where those 2 criteria are met, and we'll exceed those criteria. We've already exceeded those criteria, but we're the only project that has in excess of 5 grams per ton. So those are the high levels in terms of the transactions. There's some obvious synergies of consolidating a belt, this 15-kilometer trend, and I'll turn it over to Tim Clark at this point. If you want to make a few comments from the Fury side.
Sure, thanks, Sean. Look, I think the hard part about when we were looking at selling Homestake is how to value it, and the way it's sort of worked out is that you get the best value when you create an opportunity with a company like this where you have synergies right off the bat. At the same time, we are trying to simplify our story. We're trying to be great at what we do, and we quickly recognize that what Dolly gets in this is a great asset, and what we get is an experienced geologist team that's really giving 100% of their time focused on the Golden Triangle. We've got other assets up north in Nunavut and out in Quebec. We've had some great drill results on lately. It gives us a chance to really focus in and be great at what we do there. We like the fact that we are going to be able to participate. Certainly having some near-term cash is phenomenal, but we feel very strongly about working with Sean and his team that we're going to be able to unlock a lot more value going forward. And I reiterate the fact that this is a win-win for both companies. Having worked in the capital markets for a long time, I think this is what investors should be focused on. It takes more than just one person or one team to do these varied projects, and I think we're going to really do well going forward. As Sean said, two of us are going to go on the board. I'm going to go on the board along with Mike Hendrickson. We're also going to have a geologist on the technical advisory team. We're lockstep with these guys. I think the cultural fit is excellent, and we're really excited about what's going to happen going forward. And I'll pass it along.
Thanks so much, Tim. Yes, with the increased resource base, the large land package, the co-development synergies, enhanced scale. We've heard so many times from analysts, from fund managers about consolidation. We're in a part of the world where we've seen a tremendous amount of M&A activity, and I think by bringing together this amount of mineral inventory in the Golden Triangle at these grades, with all of the exploration opportunities that this 15 kilometers of Hazelton provides us, it's going to be a very, very exciting next drill season. I'll now pass it on to our Chief Geologist, Rob Van Egmont.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. Just from a high-level point of view, it's not only adjacent projects here, but the structural trend as well as the Hazelton stratigraphic sequence are both continuous across the boundary. So it's good to see this consolidated and be able to explore it as a single entity over the 15 kilometers, as Sean said. There's a variety of styles of deposits, but from what we know now, the distance between the southern deposit on Homestake Ridge and the northern deposit on Dolly Varden's ground is about 5.5 kilometers, and we're already getting some indications of from geophysical work that there's targets that we'll be going after between those two, and that's outside of all of the exploration potential still within that Hazelton formation outside of the deposits. So not only will we be doing exploration on the whole land package, but down dip of the deposits towards each other.
Thanks, Rob. Ivan, over to you.
Thanks, Sean, and everyone. Some great remarks. First of all, this is exceptionally well timed for both sides. We're at the end of a very soft quarter ahead of a very big upturn in the precious metals, which we're all looking forward to. There is some history here between us and Dolly Varden as neighbors, and we've talked about monetizing Homestake with back in the Oren days. And, the biggest challenge that we've had, either Oren or Fury, was putting a price, as Tim said, on something you like a lot. We didn't want to sell this for cash. We wanted to ride the upside, and taking on that major share position is very important to us. It gives us the upside to both commodity upside as well as the exploration upside in the project. Now, moving ahead, these are very like-minded individuals. You can see by the way they've performed actually really well this year, being Dolly Varden, and I think we're going to have great synergies there. And I'm not going to belabor the scale that both Rob and Sean and Tim, all three of them, have complimented about the 15-kilometer strike in the Golden Triangle, but that's really what gets me excited as a large shareholder, being Fury in this case in point, and potentially as an investor post-deal in the market. I think at the end of the day, this is a very smart deal. Too many mines are split by property boundaries, and they should be, put together as one. This is one of those cases, and the timing has to be perfect, which it certainly is. And last comment I'll make is cash is king unless you're able to get a lot of shares at the head of a big bull market and potential major discoveries in a project like this here going forward. So, huge compliment to the team on both sides. This is going to be a very exciting event for Dolly and for Fury shareholders, and welcome everybody to join that going forward. Thank you.
Thanks, Ivan. I think we'll turn it over to the Q&A segment of the call now.
Sure, thank you. We will now begin the question and answer session. To join the question queue, you may press star, then 1 on your telephone keypad. You will hear a tone acknowledging your request. If you are using a speakerphone, please pick up your handset before pressing any keys. To withdraw your question, please press star, then 2. We will pause for a moment as callers join the queue.
I would just like to add one remark on the questions. Please specify who you're directing the question to, as there are 4 of us here.
Once again, if you have a question, please press star, then 1 on the phone now. We currently have no questions from the phone lines, and this concludes the question and answer session and today's conference call. You may disconnect your lines. Thank you for participating and have a pleasant day. Please feel free to reach out to the company for any further questions.